Hello, how's it going? Welcome to a brand new video where I am reacting to my 2023-24 Premier League predictions video that I did right at the start of the season. I'm Joe. If you are new around here, make sure you click that subscribe button for daily sports and retro gaming content. And it's the first time I've ever done anything like this on YouTube in the past. And I think it'll be really interesting to see where we are at. Of course, the Barclays, well, not the Barclays Premier League, the Premier League season finishing over the weekend. And we're going to go through it team by team and see exactly how we got on. So without further ado, let's give it a go. We're going to start with 20th position, and already a pretty embarrassing one. Wolves I predicted to finish bottom. I think a lot of people did predict them to do quite bad, but Gary O'Neill did an incredible job, and had it not been for a few dodgy VAR decisions over the season, maybe they could have even finished top 10, but a massive 6 places out with that one. They finished 14th in the end, and at the end of the video we will add together all of our sort of number of places that we are out with our predictions, and we'll try and better that next year, basically. There's some I'm very proud of, but there's some that are pretty embarrassing, to say the least. The next one that I predicted was Forest to go down in 19th place. They did, in fact, go on to finish 17th. Very fortunate to stay in the league. I think next year will probably be the year that they go down, unless they have a very, very good summer, but they finished 2 places above there in 17th. The final team I predicted to go down was Sheffield United. Got that one right. Wrong position. They finished 20th, so 2 places out with that one. Sheffield United were just absolutely awful this season, weren't they? And the amount of goals they conceded, and yeah, one of the worst Premier League teams ever to grace the Premier League, but we're already up to 10 points this season. In 17th, I predicted Luton. I was one of the few people that predicted Luton to stay in the league, and they very nearly did it. They were really in the game until about 3 or 4 games until the end, and had it been a different set of scenarios, maybe if they'd grabbed a few more points early on, because they really did struggle right at the start of the season. If they'd grabbed a few more points then, who knows, maybe they would have stayed up. But I was 1 place out with them. They finished 18th in the end. I predicted 17th. Next, I went for Everton, 16th place. Of course, they had plenty of points deductions this year. That sort of helped me out a little bit. They finished 15th in the end. Just 1 place out with them. I'm quite happy with that. That moves us on to 12 points for now. Next, I went for Burnley. This bit of an embarrassment one. I think Burnley were widely expected to take the Premier League by storm, actually, this season, with the way Vincent Kompany had them playing in the Championship, obviously winning that at a canter, but it didn't really happen for them. In fact, they were almost as bad as Sheffield United in many ways, comfortably relegated in 19th place, and that's another 4 points onto our total. Into the next position was Bournemouth. I predicted them to finish 14th. They ended up finishing 12th in the end. Very decent second half of the season for Areola, who I think, at the start of the season, he was very much under pressure. I think he was 1 or 2 games away from getting sacked. They were looking like relegation candidates all the way through the first half of the season, but they've really improved, finished mid-table in the end in 12th and 2 positions higher than what I'd predicted. So, yeah, very good for them. But that takes us to, I think that's 18 points now this season. On to our first correct prediction of the season. I went for Fulham in 13th. They finished slap bang in the middle of 13th. Had a very good start of the season and were in the top 10 for a long time, but then dropped off in the second half of the year, but finished comfortably mid-table in the end. Then Brentford, again, another disappointment. They'd started the season quite well, and ironically, once they got Ivan Toney back, they just didn't seem to win many games after that. So they finished 16th in the end, 4 places below where I have predicted them to finish. We'll obviously add up all of the points at the end just to double check that everything's right. But yeah, a tough one to take that with Brentford. Then West Ham, 11th, I'd predicted them. They actually went on to finish 9th. I did suspect European football would hurt them this season. They didn't have as much of a run in European football as they have in previous years. But David Moyes, of course, leaving the club at the end of the season. It's a very solid top half finish once again in 9th place. But again, lots of these teams in and around the top 10 could have been wildly all over the place. So I'm quite happy to just lose 2 points on West Ham. Could have quite easily been relegated in another season. Another one that I got right, though, was Crystal Palace in P10. Wouldn't have got it right had Roy Hodgson stayed till the end of the season, but Oliver Glasner taking over. Did a very, very good job at Crystal Palace, and obviously a very impressive 5-0 victory over Champions League qualifying Aston Villa on the last day. Very impressive, and again, very happy to get that one in P10. Into 9th position, and Tottenham, this is where a lot of people were predicting Tottenham at the start of the season, sort of mid-table, obviously losing Harry Kane, but Ange came in and did a great job. They finished 5th in the end, and could have easily finished higher. They were looking like title contenders in the first half of the season. Ended up finishing 5th in the end, but 4 places higher, I should say, than what I've predicted them. Call me a maths teacher, apparently, but there you go, 4 places, above 9th. Next, we have Brighton, and they finished 11th in the end. Again, another good start to the season for them. They were looking like they were going to finish top 6 come the end of the year, but very disappointing end of the year. Obviously, De Zerbi is leaving immediately. Don't know who's going to take over at Brighton. It's going to be a very big appointment for them, because if they continue that slide, they are going to be in trouble next season. Another 3 points added to our total. Next, Aston Villa. I predicted them to finish 7th, get European football, possibly through the Europa League, because I thought we would have 5 Champions League teams. Not going to be the case, but I predicted them to finish 7th. They ended up finishing 4th. Brilliant achievement. The Newcastle of this season. They were title contenders probably halfway through. Obviously, most people knew they were going to drop off, but they had a very good season. Unai Emery's done a great job at Aston Villa. It'll be interesting to see what they can do going forward into next season. In 6th, I predicted Newcastle, and they were very, very close to finishing there. Just a couple of points off Chelsea in the end, but finished 7th, just 1 place below where I expected them to finish, and I think that's a really good season for Newcastle. Actually, they were never going to back up another top 4 finish, but we get Conference League football. I think a genuine chance of winning the Conference League next season, and I think Newcastle put everything into it because they want to win a trophy sooner rather than later. In 5th, I predicted Liverpool. I really don't know why I did that. That was a bad decision on my behalf. Liverpool were title contenders pretty much until the 4th or 5th final game. They finished 3rd in the end. Jurgen Klopp, of course, leaving, and Arne Slot taking over very, very soon. In 4th, I put Man United, and I'm gutted with this one because I never rated Ten Hag, so I don't really know why I thought they would finish 4th. They ended up finishing 8th in the end. Don't you worry, their prediction will be much more realistic next season. A disappointing 4 points to lose. And I can imagine you all at home thinking, where on earth were Chelsea in this? Well, Chelsea had predicted to finish 3rd, and this could have been an absolute disaster. They were bottom half for a lot of the season, but a very, very good finish to the year meant they finished 6th and actually only cost me 3 points in the end. But that leaves us with our top 2, which I predicted in the perfect position of 1 and 2, Man City and Arsenal, and no lost points there. So overall, I'm pretty happy. 4 teams in the exact correct position, 3 teams only 1 place away, another few only 2 places away. I think that's a very solid first round of predictions, predicting one of the relegated teams, predicting pretty much all of the European qualifying teams, just in a different order to where they ended up finishing. Man United, the only exception to that. Swap Man United and Tottenham, and all of a sudden it looks like a much better list. But it's time now to add up our points total. So it adds up to 44 points, bearing in mind that Tottenham is only a +4. Miscounted there, but 44 points for the first season that we've done this. I think that's a solid score, not spectacular. Obviously, some big, results in there that have cost us, like the Wolves one, even the Tottenham one. Burnley, massively out of position of where I should have predicted them in the end. But hopefully it's something to work towards next season. Let me know down in the comment section, how did your predictions go for the Premier League season 23-24? And can't wait to 24-25 and giving it another go. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, give it a like and subscribe for plenty more daily sports and retro gaming content. And I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.